ladies, and the 4x400 relays to come in the evening session on day number 8 at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. And Jamaica expected to do well in the opening rounds as we look at the ladies doing their exchanges for the sprint relays. We continue our discussion. We do have some Jamaicans who will compete in the morning session across 2 events, but we also look towards the 4x400 relay. For women, Mark Elliot is the man in charge of that, and we caught up with him in Tokyo.
All right, we're here with Coach Mark Elliot, who is in charge of the women's 4x400 relay team. Coach, just on the eve of our women getting ready for the heats of the 4x4, how are they looking at this juncture?
Well, I mean, they're looking really well. As you can see, the individual 400 had just completed, and it was successful. You had a few PRs out of it, and I think that goes well with our 4x4 team that we start out tomorrow with. So a very cohesive group, as you can see now, and which is one thing you asked for. And all of them are focused and ready to go.
Yeah, of course, Nikisha Price was in that exciting and historic women's 400 final. Your thoughts on her performance and how she is after that run? Yeah,
well, I mean, just from a 1,000-mile up, because obviously I'm not her coach, but I think she did awesome. For a young athlete that just started out in the professional circuit, and running out of lane 2 and breaking 50 seconds again. She's consistently getting better, and that's all you can ask for, from a championship while and being in the final. Just goes well, like down the road, what to expect from her.
Yep. And at this point, what would you be working on from a technical perspective?
Well, it's just as much as you might hear the short sprint coaches talk about handoff. For me personally, it's more the cohesiveness, and at the same time getting the stick moving through the zone as any relays, and trying to figure out which the best matchup, because I'm sure every heats are pretty much very competitive, and I think we have a solid team that can do excellent. So we want to make sure we put the 4 ladies out that are ready to go at this moment.
Yeah. In terms of the personnel you'll be utilizing in the heats, is that the same team you plan on using in the final, just for that uniformity, or no?
Well, I would say, if I have to answer that question right this minute, at least 75% of it for sure, or you have to take a look and, of course, discuss it with the athletes and the other coaches, and we want to make sure you get to the final. So that is the main thing for tomorrow. So if you have to utilize the full team, then we will, and I think they all are ready to do that.
Yeah, and finally, Coach, what do you say about our medal chances? I mean, everybody back home, they're tabulating, and I'm sure they have the women's 4x4 as one of their medals. But for you, from where you stand, how do you see our medal chances in this event?
I think it's fair assessment. I mean, if you really just put on paper, while you don't compete on paper, just our personnel, we do have a very good shot of getting a medal, and I'm sure that's our goal and everyone else's goal too.
All right, so you heard there from Mark Elliot, the coach in charge of the women's 4x400 relay. David, from what you've heard, confident that the Jamaicans will get through the first round?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in not just qualifying, but you also run for your lane in the finals. And the lane draws can make a difference in terms of how the team competes and how the athletes execute. So it's not just to make it into the finals, but to run in a convincing manner that you get a good lane, which really, I mean, you have 2 semifinals, and you need to be in the top 2 to get a good lane, because the 4 best teams will get the preferred lane. So we want to be among those 4, which means we need to be either winning the semifinal or coming second.
Javoy, the Jamaicans will go in heat number 1. We will discuss that in our maybe the preview for the evening session a little bit later on. But based on what you've heard, same question, you're confident that the Jamaican women will progress?
Yeah, I am. They're currently in lane 2. I believe that they should run their finals from the heats because, as what David said, we're running for our lanes. So we need to be in the top 4 fastest times. So I definitely believe that they're going to make it through to the finals, but they have to run. They have to treat it like a finals.
Yeah. Daniel, we've seen some great performances from the 400-meter women. Stacey Williams going sub 50 seconds, Nikisha Price being in that final. So again, once we assemble a proper quartet, do you see a medal?
Well, first we have to get through qualifying. It's top 3. And I think sometimes we make some mistakes in the relays in terms of the team that we send to just qualify, and we underestimate the European teams, and those teams come in because Great Britain and those teams are not afraid to run their star girls in the qualifying. Those teams will do whatever it takes to qualify. So I hope that the decision that the coaches make, they don't, underestimate the field in who they put out there.
Do you expect to see the likes of Nikisha Price? Chances are she won't go in the first round, but Stacey and Williams, Deshane Oakley probably.
Well, I have some questions because based on what we saw in the mixed relay, the people that they sent out there, and based on how we saw the performances of, key legs of the relay, I am concerned that there may be a need for her based on what the other countries have in their lineup. So it may not be ideal to have her run the heats and the final, but if we need her to qualify, she'll have to do it. But I don't know if they'll allow her to do it. But I think the priority is qualifying. And I haven't seen enough to be confident without her on the team. Yeah. I'm being honest.
Coach, talk to me about the strategy that goes into putting together the 4 women who you would send out there in the opening round.
You need a strong lead off because you don't want the race to get away from you, because it causes the athlete to then having to make decisions as to whether they're going to chase or not. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. You want to have a strong lead-off. So it must be somebody that runs the 400, the flat 400, who could deliver. You're running in lane 2, so you have everybody in front of you. Just being very calculated and deliberate. And then, of course, your second leg, you need to have somebody that can chase or can have some speed, not passive, but aggressive. And we saw Oakley was a little bit too passive in the mixed relay. Too relaxed the first 100. That's not going to work. You need to be business-like. Get out there, get to the brake line first, and handle business. The anchor leg, we still could use Nikisha. That's the only leg that the athlete could control how much effort they put in. So if we're in very good position, she could just control and determine how much effort she puts in and save herself for the final. So there's still room for her, but it depends on whether the athletes are willing to do the duties. And sometimes if the energy is right in the camp, people volunteer and say, hey, yeah, I'm in, I'll run the heats, and then your job is easy as a coach.
Javoy, are they a part of your 14 medal prediction?
No, they were not a part of it.
They're not a part of it. I'm still trying to see how Javoy got to 14, but
I told them that I can substitute the women for the mix because I thought they were going to going to put the best persons on the mix relay.
Really?
They're not taking it serious, so.
Okay. So you had a medal for the mixed relay.
Yeah, but
not
I said I could substitute the 4x4 women for the mix scene before the championship even started. So it was one of the 2.
Okay, so if they get a medal, you're looking at what, 15? Look, you do your thing. You do your thing.